M. Fletcher Brown with another artist video blog, kicks96country.com. Our guest today, all the way from Nashville, by way of the great state of South Dakota. Please welcome Richard Banker. How are you?
Hey, doing great. My first time in Alabama.
Your very, very first time in,
Yeah.
in Alabama.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
You've been so many different places, and we'll get to that. You've been so many different places. You've never been to Alabama before?
I haven't. I mean, I grew up in South Dakota, went to college in Colorado, and lived in California. Now I'm in Texas, in Austin, and I just haven't been this close as I've ever been. So, been to Georgia, been to Tennessee before.
Been to our neighbors to
Yeah.
the north and the east, but all right, well,
It's a pretty good first place
welcome.
in Alabama, right?
Yeah, well, the Shoals, absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Welcome to Alabama. All right,
Thank
Richard
you.
Banker. Now he is a new country artist, but he's been knocking around doing a bunch of different things for a while. We'll get to that. His current single is "Dancing with the Texas Moon." All right, so you get a chance to go and find that single. You know, we'll play it for you here, Kicks 96. But we're going to talk to Richard about growing up in South Dakota. Now, I went to high school with a friend of mine in high school was a native of South Dakota.
Oh, yeah.
And he used to always talk about how much, I mean, not so much that I miss home and I'm homesick, but just, just how cool it was growing up there.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I'm just curious to see if like your South Dakota experience is the same as him. Do you have really, really good, strong, fond memories of growing up in South Dakota?
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, born and raised Aberdeen, South Dakota. So, my one set of grandparents lived in town and one out of town.
Mm-hmm.
So I grew up with a BB gun and running the hills and,
Yeah.
and fishing and hunting and pretty classic
Now,
country.
Am I wrong? South Dakota, is that the one with the Badlands?
Absolutely.
Yeah, the Badlands.
Badlands and the Black Hills.
If you're a Western lover,
Mhm.
then you know that the Dakotas play pretty heavily, especially into like those like early to mid 20th century Western John Wayne movies. You get a lot of stuff happening with Westerns, with the Lakota Sioux Indians,
Yeah.
all kinds of amazing history.
Dances with Wolves.
Dances with Wolves, yeah, another great one.
Yeah.
I think one of the more famous Native American Indian chiefs, Sitting Bull, I think,
Absolutely.
is associated with South Dakota. So you probably, and I say all that to say that you probably grew up with a pretty healthy dose of like country and Western music, probably.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, my folks, Merle Haggard, George Jones. My mom was a second grade teacher, and as a matter of fact, her class wrote George Jones a bunch of letters back in, I don't know, maybe 15, 20 years ago, and he sent her a picture, hand wrote her a note, and thanked her and everything.
Wow. Well, George was pretty cool that way, though.
Yeah.
So you eventually grew up, you left South Dakota, and you said you lived in California for a while. You were out there acting, is that right?
Yeah, that's right.
All right. So what did you act in anything that we might have seen?
Maybe,
Bridesmaids,
I had a role in Bridesmaids, and a very Hollywood thing that happens is I went for a month. They called me the night before every single night, and they were like, "It's tomorrow. We're gonna shoot tomorrow. We're gonna shoot tomorrow." I had the fitting, everything, and then they cut the scene.
Oh,
Yeah, and it's such a funny movie, but that would have been a good break for sure.
I don't have words enough to express how many people I know that has happened to.
Right?
And it's just in Hollywood, do better.
You got to live with that reality. That's
Do
for
better.
sure.
All right. So I bet that's not the only thing. You did other things.
Yeah, so I did a TV show called Love Bites. It
Love
was on
Bite. No, I've heard of
NBC.
that.
They just ran one season,
Mhm.
unfortunately for me. But I played Officer Kurt Darlington, and yeah, they ended up not bringing it back. So that was, it was a good role, but didn't
Television, do better. Do better. All right. So, but maybe was it those experiences that made you just think, you know what? I have a love for music. I'm good at songwriting and singing and playing. I'm going to go pursue music. Is that what moved you to Austin?
Yeah, I mean, long story short, I was in a acting class with a guy who had been writing songs. He really liked like Tom Petty, 90s, like Oasis, stuff like that. So I started playing guitar with him, writing songs. Then, we just kept having people quit the band. And so
Yeah.
after, a bunch of that, I just decided I was going to take an acoustic guitar and start writing country songs. And, being in the middle of LA for so long, I think it's just like the need for country living and country music and all of that kind of
I love that.
came out of me.
I love
that's
that.
where it started. Yeah.
All right. So you ended up moving to Austin. Is that where you met Chris Gage?
Correct. Yep.
And Chris Gage now, he's producing you.
Yeah.
and he's worked with the likes of like Jerry Jeff Walker. And if you don't know who Jerry Jeff Walker is, get out, just go. Just we don't want you here. Bye.
Well, you probably know Mr. Bojangles. That's his most famous song, but he has a ton of great songs. Definitely check him out. He's one of the original, Willie Whalen and the Boys, Austin 70s country guys. So
and Chris Gage also worked with Roy Clark. He played guitar for Roy Clark.
Yeah, guitar and piano.
And so now he's producing. Is he producing your album or just the single?
Yep. So he's got we're doing the whole thing together. He is also from South Dakota, so we just kind of hit it off right away.
Gotcha. Okay.
And so he's my mentor, a hero, and producer. So he's playing lead guitar, rhythm guitar. He plays dobro on the single and piano, and I mean, he's just an amazing guy. So yeah.
All right, well, let's talk about the song. Get to the music. We're going to talk about Dancing with the Texas Moon. Is that one that you wrote, or is that one that maybe Chris said, "Hey, here, I have this great song. You need to play this"?
No, man. I mean, of the 12 songs that are going to be on my album, I wrote 10 of them. One of them he co-wrote with me, but I wrote all the lyrics and most of the music, and then he added some stuff that was necessary. But this one I wrote the whole thing.
All right. So what is the song then about? If for folks who haven't heard it yet, Dancing with the Texas Moon, what is the song about?
Well, so basically I was sitting in my backyard with a roommate a couple years ago, and there's a lot of weather in Austin and in Texas that kind of whips through.
Yeah.
So it was a full moon. We were just sitting out there having a couple beverages, hanging out, and this cloud just kept dancing with the Texas moon. And that's where then I was like, hey, that's a great title.
Yeah.
And then about 2 months later, I just wrote the title down, learned that one from the boss. That's a good way to write songs. And so I had the title for a couple months, and then I was flying back to South Dakota for Christmas. Got stuck in a blizzard in Minneapolis. So the song came to me in a Comfort Inn in Minneapolis, Minnesota.
Really?
Yeah. They put me up in that hotel. And so I was playing some stuff and kind of just came up.
All right.
Yeah.
So now you mentioned the album that's coming out, 12 songs. Is it available yet, or is it still a work in progress?
Nope. I've got this, Dancing with the Texas Moon, and then another single, Beatles in the Morning, Stones at Night. Those are the first two, and then the rest is coming out. I've got 2 more recorded that they're finishing mixing and mastering now, and release those as singles, and then probably finish the whole album after that and release it as one.
All right. So the album is forthcoming, but there's a couple songs folks can get now.
Yep.
If somebody is out there and they're hearing this and they're thinking, man, Richard Banker sounds cool as heck, I want to learn everything I can about him, where do folks go and find you on the internet?
Okay, so richardbanker.com has links to the music and everything else, but I've also Richard Banker Music on Instagram. My Facebook page is under construction right now, but Richard Banker Music on Facebook will be out next couple days as well. And then all the music's on all the platforms as well.
All right. So look at the bottom of our video here, and if you just look down there, right there, you'll see all of the links to the places that he just met. So you don't have to remember those. We're going to link those off so that you can get to those and learn all about Richard Banker. If you want to hear Dancing with the Texas Moon, call us at Kicks 96. We will gladly play it for you. Look for another live performance from Richard here elsewhere on our YouTube channel. Richard Banker is our guest. Thanks for coming, man.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
And welcome to Alabama for the very first time.
Thank you very much.
Don't let it be the last time.
Oh, it won't be.
I promise. Muscle Shoals, we're really cool up here.
Oh no, I'm here for it, man. I'm really excited to be here.
Absolutely. We'll see you next time on another artist video blog, kicks96country.com.
A late night serenade, Texas moon, our love in blue. We dance and sway beneath the Texas moon.